Welcome into Sports Tonight. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Ellie Parker joining me today for this special edition. What we have coming up for you, we are going to talk about some devastating dream news, less than ideal dream news.
Less than ideal is putting it one way.
What else do we have on the docket today? Me and you are going to get into the U.S. men's national team discussion we've been dying to discuss. We're also going to talk about the hot dog eating contest. Maybe we'll get some peanut gallery opinions on who could eat the most hot dogs in the newsroom. But let's first start with the topic of the Braves.
Oh, look.
Because you can't...
Chris Sale is good again.
He's had a resurgence. And you know what? This is exactly what the Braves were hoping was going to happen in getting him from Boston. And it's funny, I wish Fred was in here. Fred said last night, he goes, oh, of course. It's like, I wish he would have done that with us. But sometimes you just need a fresh start. He went 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, gave up 1 run last night.
That's some vintage stuff from him.
Oh, yeah. And if you go back and watch some of the highlights, like, he just had his game face on. Bringing the heat. It's been so fun to watch Sale just really have a resurgence here. And it's something that we're not taking lightly. It's great to have him in the mix at that capacity, especially after Spencer Strider. Before we hear from Snit, too, about Chris Sale, I want to mention that A.J. Smith-Shaver had a rehab assignment in Rome last night. Struck out the side, 4 Ks, coming back from that grade 2 oblique strain. So that's really good news. We also, if we're going to talk about that, we have to talk about the Stripers. I don't know if you saw, but they had a huge night. So first of all, this is wild, Ellie. They have never won in Minnesota, ever, until last night. Did you know that?
No.
Never won in Minnesota. 0-7.
0-7? Did they go play St. Paul? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so they got the win last night, first one ever in Minnesota. They won 21-6. Franchise record runs.
This has been a running theme with the Stripers this season.
Okay, but they
really gotten into the scored double-digit runs and just don't lose.
And a franchise record hits with 26. Eli,
that's some MLB This Show numbers right there.
Did Eli,
21
I think,
runs
if I remember
26
correctly,
hits.
Eli White, the center fielder, also had 6 RBI. So, like, just a wild night,
Absurd.
And they're back in action, so we'll see if they can do it. But the Braves, you know, they dropped Game 1 to the Giants, get Game 2, 3-1, thanks to Chris Sale. And then they're back at it tonight at 7:20. But let's hear what Snit had to say after the Game 2 win.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, I'm happy for him. It's just it's been really good. I'll tell you what, it's been fun watching him compete and pitch and how he goes about it. And, it's God, I don't know that he could be much better, quite honestly. I mean, he's just been strong the whole year. Like one of the most competitive guys I've ever been around.
You've always said that the starters have to set the tone for you guys to get where you want to go. I know it's a daily focus, but does that give you some comfort when you think of the goals you want to achieve, that you've got a rotation like this?
Yeah, no, it's big. When they cover innings, it's huge for everything involved. And, so having him out there today was, was really good. I mean, going into it, and he's been on a run and throwing the ball extremely well. And I'm just glad we scored some runs for him.
You've got your bullpen healthy like it is now, and you got a starter going 6 innings. I mean, you feel comfortable with
well, it's very manageable now. You know what? You get Mint back, and now all of a sudden, you got your 3 mid-inning leverage guys and Iggy, and Grant, Dylan, all Bum, all them guys are you can mix and match really good when you get starters covering most of the game.
We always see one guy get a hit one day, and you don't know what it's going to lead to. And Duvall get that one hit on Saturday, it seems like.
I know he's had some really good at bats, which is really encouraging to see. That hopefully, because we've seen before when he gets on one of his rolls. I mean, he can really do a lot of damage. So I was just thinking to myself that during the game, it's like just some of his takes and things like that. And he's hitting everything too, so which is a really good sign.
How special would that be if Sale, Freed, and Lopez were all on the All-Star?
No, it'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. It'd be a great honor for all of them. I think anytime you make an all-star team, it's a tremendous honor, in my opinion, and it'd really be good for the group.
How important has it been for you guys to get Riley going the way he has?
No, I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's kind of, we need those big guys in the middle of the order to go. And, we've been struggling all year to get some consistency but I just know that when they get that thing going, it can be, as it has been in the past, really fun to watch. Hasn't worked. It's been harder to kickstart that whole thing this year. And, but, they're still going to work at it. And like I said, I still think our best baseball's ahead of us.
Iglesias has one of those kind of smiling, laughing personalities, but he flips that switch when he takes them out. What have you seen that's just made him so capable?
You're right. I mean, he comes through that door every day with a big smile on his face. And it's almost like you can set your watch with what time he comes through that weight room door every day coming into the clubhouse. And he's such a happy person and good person and has that great mentality for, like he's all business when he's out there in that ninth inning and when there's a lead. So, he's one of the, he's like third in the league in saves or something like that, I think. So, it's a special guy to do that job because not everybody can.
Adam Duvall with a multi-hit night off some righties tonight. What do you think it does, just benefiting confidence?
Yeah, no, it's great for his confidence. No, he's another one that's been working really hard, extremely hard, and we, like I said earlier, we know what he's capable of when he gets on a run. And I think his at bats up and down, the last few days, like Mark was saying, have been really, really good.
Mentor shin?
Yeah. I think he wanted to keep going before it stiffened up on him.
All right, so we'll see how they fare in Game 3 tonight. After that, they welcome the Phillies, who I don't know if you caught, Ellie, have a few All-Stars.
Oh, just a few, almost the entire infield.
No, but really, Bryce Harper, Alec Baum, and Trey Turner.
Trey Turner.
Thank you. I was like, why can't I figure it out right now? So, yeah, that's great. Should be a good weekend. I mean, what a weekend for some baseball if you want to get into that. But what I really want to get into, and I think you also really want to get into, is we definitely need to talk about the U.S. men's national team.
Fire Greg Berhalter.
Okay, before we get to there, because we know we're getting to there, explain to the people where we're at with this U.S. men's national team.
Teams in the toilet is where we are. I'm tempted to take our resident Canadian, Emily Gagnon, and bet that the Canadians are going to do better in 2026.
So, Copa America. It's the last real competitive competition before the 2026 World Cup, which has been deemed like this golden generation for the U.S. men's national team.
Golden generations win things, I'm sorry.
Because they have Christian Pulisic and a young, talented team. But things have really started to take a turn the last couple years before we got to this point. Everyone thought this team maybe had turned a corner with Berhalter, and then obviously putting aside the Gio Reyna storied sideline, which he did not play. Go look into that. I can't get into that because we're going to
the Gio Reyna story is part of it because the U.S. Soccer Federation is a cesspool of nepotism unlike any in American sport.
But but also that is every sport possible. I mean, look what just happened with LeBron James.
Okay, Scott and I have discussed the Bronny James thing ad nauseum. U.S. Soccer Federation is so much worse. Say what you will about
Bronny
Jurgen
isn't even
Klinsmann.
that good, Ellie. And he still got drafted.
They're gonna put him
No,
as the
and you
12th
know
man.
that's true. You're
And
smiling because you know it's true.
He's not that good.
Thank
but
you.
they're gonna put him as the 12th man. He's gonna get like 2 minutes per game, if that. It's not gonna matter.
But they still drafted him to the Lakers. The Lakers don't even care about championships anymore. They're just doing it because they have LeBron James and they have to pay him $1 bajillion. Anyway, we're getting side ranted. I'll let you go on about nepotism and
Say
soccer.
what you will about Jurgen Klinsmann's tenure as U.S. men's national team head coach. At least he was somebody from outside this system, and he was trying new things. Greg Berhalter is a creature of the swamp.
So they playing Copa. They play Bolivia, who is one of the worst teams. Okay.
You're supposed to beat Bolivia.
Yes, and
handily.
they beat Bolivia, and they put up a bajillion shots. I think, if I remember correctly, I need to find the stat. Okay, the U.S. Perfect. The U.S. created 26 chances in 3 games in this Copa tournament, okay?
That's unacceptable.
15 of those were against Bolivia.
That's unacceptable.
Okay, that's wild. So,
And the rest of the group was Panama and Uruguay, which are 2 very good teams.
yes.
I will.
So
I will
then
give
Panama
credit
and
where it's due.
Panama's a very physical team. You knew they were going to be gritty, but Tim's red card
Oh
was
my
the
God.
dumbest. Listen,
The
okay, hold on.
dumbest thing.
Let me rewind. I am a very physical. I played soccer at Oklahoma State, played at a very high level. I'm a very physical individual. I was the quote enforcer. So you win the ball, you give it to the people who score. That was my role. Okay, I am very pro beating the heck out of people
Yes.
on the pitch.
Yes.
However, this is the dumbest red card, the dumbest thing you could have done.
You don't punch
And
people.
really do think it changed everything for the U.S.
Oh,
That was
absolutely.
the massive turning point. They play down 10 players for almost the entire game. And this is a team that really has struggled to dig themselves out of a hole and find that grit. So then they go on to play Uruguay, which was always going to be
Yeah.
the hardest game that they were going to face.
They needed to win that game against Panama to even have a chance of making it out of the group because they were not going to beat Uruguay.
My biggest complaint about that game, besides them producing offensively, was when they were paying attention to the other game in Beerholter.
Goes 1-1. Just come on.
What are we doing?
The-
That tells me everything I need to know as a head coach, that your mindset was, hey, we're going to pay attention to that game and we'll keep you guys posted. No. You should be trying to win this game.
Play to win.
Don't care about what's going on there. We'll deal with it after the game. I don't know if you watch post game, but they usually have Carly Lloyd, Clint Dempsey, and Alexi Lawless talking. Alexi, he's always saying some crazy things.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Correct. And fair. I loved what Clint. So I was a big Clint Dempsey fan. I liked him way more than Michael Bradley back in the day.
Yes, same.
And Clint's always been real upfront, and he basically says, "I don't know who deemed this golden generation, but you're squandering every opportunity you have." And I don't want to put total words in his mouth, but that was basically the sentiment of what he was saying. And I could not agree more, Ellie.
I said this about 2 minutes ago. Golden generations win things. This is not a golden generation for the United States. Do I think that this country can produce a Copa America winner, a World Cup winner? Yes. This team, as currently constructed, is not that team.
No, and that's what's scary, because everyone wants to say, okay, well, you have 2 years until the 2026
2 years, come on.
World Cup. That's really not that long of a time. And also, I mean, you know, let's talk about some of the good things that were part of this team. I thought Christian Pulisic did about
Yes.
everything Christian Pulisic could have done. I also love his faux hawk mullet, if I have time to
Yes,
talk
okay.
about it. Was a big fan.
What other good things are there?
I thought Gio was creative in some points.
Yeah.
Bologun,
Bogan is obviously going to
he's-
be a bright spot.
tasked with a hard position, and I felt like he weathered it really well and had
Yes.
some really good opportunities, but you do want more. So the thing is what are you going to do? You have 2 years. People think that's a long time. It's really not when you're
it's
looking
not.
at the developmental aspect of these players and constructing a team. Reams in the back too. He's older, man. I think
Yeah.
he's 36. Miles Robinson didn't see any time, which I thought was kind of interesting. So that's kind of telling of, obviously, Beerholter thinks there's not much back there. What's his name? Joe Scully?
Yeah.
The outside back is in. Tyler Adams still hurt. But, I mean, the question that lingers now is, are they going to fire Beerholter?
They need to. They need to. I know it's 2 years out from the U.S. hosting the World Cup. It's going to be all eyes on this country, on this team. Nope. Hit the reset button.
It's I'll say this.
Bring somebody in from outside the federation.
I haven't read anything that says the U.S. men's national team should keep him.
Because that would be the wildest take in sports right now.
Isn't it crazy too that it was, only a few years ago the U.S. men's national team was winning international competitions
Yes.
overseas, and we can't even beat people in Copa America?
I'm reminded of the Trinidad and Tobago match from 2017, 2018.
I've watched interviews on that. I don't know if you remember the defensive man, Jeff Cameron, but he's talked in depth about that and how that was just a terrible loss.
I have seen one name pop up as a potential option.
Okay.
Jurgen Klopp. Which would honestly just be really fun.
That would
You
be
want
insane.
fun soccer? Yes. Give me U.S. men's national team head coach Jurgen Klopp.
You know what I'm excited to watch? I believe this game is tomorrow afternoon. Is Portugal-France.
Oh, that's
A
going to be
little
so fun. It's
Ronaldo
gonna be so fun.
Mbappe. Please count me in. I'm a big Ronaldo fan. So I'll be watching that since there's nothing for the U.S.
There's nothing for the U.S.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
All right, enough negative Nancy talk. Let's move on. I guess
okay.
negative Nancy to more negative Nancy, actually. This news coming down.
This just sucks.
Just around 6. So Jordan Canada was out the whole first month of the season because of a wrist injury. Well, against the New York Liberty the other night, she apparently now has a broken finger.
This poor woman.
Now, it's funny that this happened because Lee and I were talking about it. I mean, it was great to have her back in the mix. She really not only helps the team offensively, but defensively as well.
That's why they got her.
She has really made a difference. And I think what has been interesting, though, is she really throws herself into plays. Like, she's not I think she's like 5'6". She's pretty small.
That's about my height.
Yeah.
For reference.
And she gets ragdolled sometimes. And it was funny because Lee and I were talking about it. Like, she's going to get hurt again in the way she
Yeah.
plays, which is what makes her unique and why they went and got her. But at the same point, it's like you can't do anything if she's not healthy. So now she's out. Ryan Howard's out until at least the Olympic break because she's probably trying to stay healthy for the Olympic break. And then Ariel Powers is also out with a calf injury. I mean, the blows just keep coming for the Dream.
The Dream that are on the IL could probably beat the Dream that are actually playing at a 3-on-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
thankfully, Alicia Gray can hopefully keep producing offensively and helping the team. She'll head to All-Star in Phoenix, but just something worth watching. All right, what else we got on the docket today, Ellie? How many hot dogs could you eat? Okay, so 4th of July,
The Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
love to run the highlights in sports. I mean, zoom in, have them just going to town.
The male winner won with 58 hot dogs. The
Yes.
female winner broke her own record with 51.
51. She set that record. I believe it was 48 before in
Yes, it was
2020.
48.
Miki Sudo. How many legitimate hot dogs do you think you could eat in a contest?
In a contest in 10 minutes, I give myself 5. Honestly, it's not that much.
So I want to say 7, but I think I'm giving myself too much credit in that. It would probably be 5, and I don't want to understate it. I would definitely barf everywhere.
Yeah.
After doing this, like, no way.
After that contest, I am heading to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But we should gauge the people that are around. Jordan, how many hot dogs could you eat?
I say about 5.
5? Okay, so 5.
One.
I'm going to settle on 5.5.
One.
1. How many
How
hot
many
dogs?
hot dogs could you eat in the contest in 10 minutes?
I'm gonna be honest, y'all.
Okay, 4. Who else can we? Taylor, how many hot dogs would you eat in a hot dog eating contest? Just one. I love that answer. Taylor just being humble as ever. I'm only going to get 1. Sean said she could only eat 1 too. I never got the clear answer from Alan. But yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this. So hot dogs, yeah. Okay, let's answer this before I let you get to what's on your mind.
Okay.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No,
What is it?
it's a hot dog. A hot dog is its own unique thing.
Fred, how many hot dogs could you eat?
In 10 minutes.
10 minutes, hot dogs, empty stomach.
Yes.
12.
What? You really think you could eat 12?
12.
If
I almost want to see this happen.
I know.
Yeah.
Just to
That's a
prove
big
it.
number.
I
I
said,
can't eat like I used to, but I give it a shot.
I know. So it's
What'd you
funny.
guys say?
I said 5.
I said 7, but then I felt like maybe I was giving myself too much credit, so I backed down to 5.5. But it's funny because out of everyone in the 6 o'clock show, I think you would be my competition.
Okay.
I don't think Alan or Sean could put down hot dogs.
Let's never do it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's just talk about it. All right, what's on your mind, Ellie? You got something on your mind. I told you as long as it was appropriate, I would give you the time.
Oh, boy.
You got
Okay.
7 minutes to rant about whatever you want.
Bailey,
I'm nervous.
do you know about the Andrew McCutcheon furries tweets?
No.
Okay. So, do you know what a furry is?
I do know what a furry is.
Okay. So, Andrew McCutcheon is a current baseball player for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Every year in July in Pittsburgh, there is something called Anthrocon. It is the largest furry convention in the world. For the last 10 years, whenever Andrew McCutcheon is playing in Pittsburgh, during the convention, he tweets out furries. Just the one word.
Okay.
Furries. For me, at least, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen on the internet. Because every year, the visiting announcers and Andrew McCutcheon always go, who are these people?
What is happening?
What is happening? Because the convention takes place right across the Allegheny River from the ballpark.
Can you tell the people who may not know what the furries are what a
Oh
furry
my
is?
God. Okay, furries are furries. Furries are interesting people, put it that way. It's an internet subculture that frequently dresses up in fursuits.
And like the zip up fursuits.
The zip-up
So like the
fursuits.
fox fursuits,
Fox
a panda
fursuits,
fursuit,
yeah,
a bird. So I don't know if he would be considered a furry, but Hunter with Colorado, have you seen his TikToks
Yes.
where he is in a? I don't know if that's like
Is-
furry culture, but he'll dress up in those and dance around.
I would.
Have you-
I,
have you
I
seen
would,
them? Do you know what I'm
yes,
talking
I know what you're talking about. I would file that under furry culture.
Okay, there we are. I've seen furry culture in the wild.
It's certainly something, especially if you're a bit of a creature of the internet like me. And of course, Andrew McCutcheon has been asked if he is a furry.
And what was his answer?
His answer was no, but honestly, if I was Andrew McCutcheon, I would not want to admit that. There are people who make their entire public persona like being a furry,
A furry.
but Andrew McCutcheon would not want to be one of those people, I would assume.
Listen, you never know. You don't want to categorize someone. Maybe.
I can't speak for Andrew McCutcheon.
Correct.
But yeah, furries are interesting people, and Andrew McCutcheon even simply acknowledging their existence is really funny to me for some reason.
So, you want to know what's on my mind? It's also coming from Twitter.
Oh God.
My dear friend, Rachel Hotmeyer, who works in Detroit, we are Bruins fans together. And on this day, a few years back, Tyler Sagan was traded to the Dallas Stars and started a PR fiasco.
Oh, that.
If you remember, there were multiple things that happened as he was making his way to Dallas. And there is a viral Twitter thread going around detailing every aspect of it. And just, it made me think about how far we've come in social media.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was in high school and Twitter was just like Twitter. And you would say whatever with no reservations.
Early Twitter was a
Wild place. The kids will never understand.
The kids
will never understand.
I was also like high school-ish as Twitter was kicking off. I was maybe a bit younger. But yeah.
Do you know the jokes of put it in reverse Terry Day?
Oh my God.
Because it is put it in reverse Terry Day. And that's another
That's,
social
oh my
media
God.
phenomenon.
That is not something I've thought about in at least 10 years.
I'm not going to tell you what it is. You just got to go look it up.
Oh my God.
It's going viral today.
This segment today is just look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. Help yourselves. Go look it up.
Or don't look it up and also help
That
yourself.
part. Or, you know, you can do what normal people would do, which is get outside.
Get outside, touch
enjoy
some
the
grass.
the fresh air, you know, do some grounding in the grass, enjoy the fireworks with your family, some barbecue. Okay, wait. We have to ask this before we get out of here because I think we have time. Top 3 foods on the 4th of July. Hamburgers.
Burgers, barbecue, hot dogs in that order.
Hamburgers for me. Like potato chips with a good French onion dip. And then like a good cold beverage.
Yeah. I would consider beverages a separate thing, but from like favorite foods, but yes, obviously.
See, I just put it all together. I'm like, I'm at the lake. I want to eat. I want to drink. What am I eating? What am I drinking? What am I feeling? And that's what I'm feeling.
If I'm at the 4th of July, I want a burger and a Coke.
There you go.
That's it.
A normal Coke?
Yep, just normal Coke.
Just a normal Coke. I'm a Diet Coke girl. But do you know they have Coke Vanilla Zero? Game changer, just for anyone who wants to know.
I have been a vanilla Coke person since it came out. You've done something terrible to me.
It's there. They have them at Publix if you need to know.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
There's a Publix right here.
There you go.
I'm
You
about
got
to take
time.
my lunch and go.
There you go. You can get one. Have it for tonight while you enjoy your lovely barbecue. And we try and see fireworks from the station for all of those that are working. Because that's us. Very few of us, but a couple of us as we get to one more show. But yeah, that has been the beautiful 4th of July edition, social media edition of Sports Tonight. Ellie, thanks for joining me. We'll get to do it again tomorrow, everybody.
Yep.
So tune in then. Have a good night. Happy 4th.